Round two.
Hello, and welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. I'm Aurelio Martinez, Stephen Johnson, and we're going to follow up that first episode with our second episode, which is we're going to talk about the bad things that happened in the year 2016. Of course, you know, we're very festive. We got our Christmas lights on. We feel like singing, and
go ahead, get down, man.
And we're gonna be happy because tonight's a happy time of the year. But
yeah, it is.
But Steve, let's talk about looking back at the year 2016 and boxing and all that's happened. Let's try to pick out some of the bad stuff. We've talked about the ugly. Let's talk about some of the bad. So just from the top of your head, what are some of the bad things that you think may have?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, there's three things that stick out in my mind bad. One of them involves Roy Jones. One of them involves Bernard Hopkins. The other one involves Andre Ward. Okay, Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins over the hill need to go somewhere and sit down. Okay, it made it worse for Bernard Hopkins. The young boy Joe Smith Jr. Beat the dog do out of him. He says for everybody in the world to see. He says he rolled his ankle and he was pushed out of the ring. Well,
wait a minute. Let's give him a break, man.
I don't want to give him no break.
No, because he's 51 years old, and you know when you get 51 years old, you start forgetting things, man. You start to get.
Well, Joe Smith made him help him remember a few things.
You start forgetting that things, and he actually thought he was pushed. You know,
he didn't think that shit. His ass, he makes excuses all the time. That's all he does.
But go ahead, man.
That's all he does is make excuses, man. And then Roy makes comments that he's going to continue fighting in 2017. I truly hope this, man, I've said it before, that Roy doesn't get in there with one of these young guys who doesn't care and will try to hurt him. Okay, because Roy is right, he's teetering right on the edge of that, Aurelio, where he's going to get hurt bad. The other one, we had Roy Bernard and then Andre Ward.
He needs to stay behind the mic.
Andre Ward, just earlier in this week, made some other comments about a rematch with Sergey Kovalev, and he's scared. He's scared of Kovalev, and he won't say that. So he makes these comments about how if the money's right or negotiations go the way they should go, negotiations the way they should go. Well, dude,
the way I see it is you know, and I've been trying to find out because when they first put that fight together and it happened, everyone heard out there that the rematch had to happen because there was a rematch clause in the contract.
We knew that.
Okay. But I haven't heard about that anymore. So I'm just kind of wondering if Kathy Duba let the ball slip and really never did have a rematch clause in the contract because honestly, Andre Ward can say whatever he wants to say. Kathy Duba and Kovalev can put him on the burner and stop him from ever fighting again until he has a rematch because legality is legality. They can pull a Bob Arum, okay? Put that in court, and okay, well, if you don't want to give us a rematch, then you can just go ahead and sit down, and when you're ready, we'll be ready.
Well, Aurelio, that has been established. Kathy Duva, just last week, came up and she made the comment that, first of all, she laid it out there. Remember when we first were all given the amounts that $5 million for Ward and $2 million for Kovalev, and that's when you and I, unlike what other people were saying, what the hell's wrong with Kathy Duva? Well, the truth came out. They both got $2 million, okay? Rock Nation, Jay-Z's group, they gave Andre Ward $3 million. So that's where the $5 million and $2. And so Kathy Duva first said, he won't be getting $5 million from us ever. Okay, she established that. The next thing was, as you were saying, she did say, she said the problem with the negotiations right now is that Andre Ward and his group have come out ridiculous. And we're not going to talk to them anymore until they, basically come back to reality. So her thing is, as you said, we'll sit back and let him shelve himself.
Yeah, keep Kovalev active, have him fight whatever. Andre Ward cannot fight until he has a rematch.
That's right.
Okay?
So
set him on the shelf, man.
And then, like I said in our first segment,
he's already said he's going to retire anyway.
Well, he says that every time because he knows that he's not going to get what he wants. Okay,
well,
and so that's why I keep saying that. And like I said, we all know he lost the fight anyway. So that's it as far as I'm concerned. Good. Now
I'm gonna tell you what. Now let me tell you some of the bad that I have to just make up and
get it out there.
And the bad I got to do is just recently.
Okay.
Paul Spadafora.
Yeah.
Paul Spadafora. Okay. always in trouble, and I'm not talking about little things. I'm not talking about going into Walmart and stealing lipstick. Okay, this man, this man has some issues. I mean,
he really does.
Didn't he beat the heck out of his wife or shoot his wife or a pregnant wife or something before? And now just recently he stabs his brother
and roughs up his mom.
I mean, that's absolutely bad, and the man has to be put away. Something has to happen, but you can't have that kind of stuff in anything, not boxing, not anything.
Well, you know, the Pittsburgh kid, remember they used to call Paul.
And he actually has some talent, man.
Yeah, he did.
He had some talent.
But has he retired? Is he still considered himself active? Because if he's retired, and not to belittle him, but if he's retired, then it becomes seriously a case of he needs some mental help. If he's active, then his promoter, his manager, needs to pursue the active help for him. He's got some mental issues. There's no doubt about it.
Mental issues.
And now when we talk about mental issues, I'll kick the next one for you. You said Paul Spadafore, I'll say Adrian Broner. This guy here, he's going to fight Adrian Granados here in a couple of months, you know, and I'm hoping that Granados just goes ahead and puts it on him. But the thing is just like we said with Paul Spadafore. Paul Spadafore had some talent. Yeah. Adrian Broner had or still has some talent. You know, but he's such a nutcase.
You know, and it really is. With Adrian Broner, that's definitely a good one as far as bad for 2016, because he, again, is one that's always been in trouble, and I don't think he even knows any better. You know, I personally don't care to see him box. I won't pay to see him box. Yeah. That's not what boxing is all about to me. So, you know, I'm independent, and I can watch what I want to watch, and I won't support that type of boxer in boxing. Just won't.
I won't either. I mean, you know, I'm on record as acknowledging one of the greatest boxers probably of all time in Floyd Mayweather Jr., but his antics outside the ring. Some people can say, hey, that's totally separate, and that's okay. Yeah. You know. Yeah. And I'll give you a good analogy for me where I can separate the two. Pete Rose, okay? Yeah. One of the greatest baseball players of all time, okay? Accused of gambling, okay? He still maintains that he didn't, but I will separate him and gambling from him and his baseball. Yeah. You know why? Because he didn't hurt anyone with his gambling. And I'm talking about physically or mentally. No. He didn't hurt anyone with that. Okay, and I can separate.
And it certainly didn't take away from his skills.
But I'm saying, even if you have somebody like a Spadafore that is all skilled, but now shooting and stabbing and roughing up his mom, see, I got to cross the line on that.
Yeah, that's definitely way up on the bad list. So you know, good things happen in boxing, and bad things happen in boxing, and unfortunately, this game is a game of where people want to prove that they're tough, and sometimes it crosses the line. Just goes over that line, and it becomes to the point where it's ignorant.
And see, and that's one of the things, like you said, when we talk about the bad. Although critical of Andre Ward and critical of Bernard Hopkins and critical of Roy Jones, they have done nothing that, you know, tarnishes their image outside of the ring. No. Okay? Yeah. I mean, Bernard Hopkins, family man. Roy, family man. Not so much family man with Roy, but a family man, Andre Ward. I mean, you know, a stand-up guys as far as that, but, you know, in the case of Andre Ward, and I could go on that all day, man, this just is ridiculous that he will not just say, hey, I'm going to fight the guy again, I'm going to beat him again, and let's move on to it.
It's bad for boxing.
Yeah. Ooh. That's Oscar De La Hoya's line, man.
It's bad for
Remember when Oscar used to
Oscar De La Hoya is bad for boxing, man. Let me throw that in there. We got a few seconds left, okay? So now that we're talking about bad, what happened to bad in 2016? Well, if you mention Oscar De La Hoya, you can go back to when he started promoting, okay? So the man just doesn't know what he's doing and promoting, and he's bad for boxing. I'll just go on and say that. Him and Chicken Canelo can go walk away in the sunset, man.
Did you call him CC? Chicken Canelo?
Chicken Canelo. You know I've always said he's had that yellow streak.
You've always said it.
And it's been proven. Now he's going to go up to 165
to fight Chavez Jr. Wow.
I mean, but yet he maintained for what, years that he couldn't fight over 150 fight to fight Triple G. The man got a yellow streak on his back, and Oscars and him together are bad for boxing because they're milking the Mexican people for every nickel and dime that they can possibly get out of them because there's no other Mexican icon fighting today.
Well, Oscar lost me years ago when he was still boxing. When after that fight, he said, right in the camera, he said, "When I lose, it's bad for boxing." And I thought to myself, good Lord, how much more ego do you have to have than that, man?
And you know me as well. When he was boxing, when he was an active boxer,
yeah,
boy, he was a good boxer. I
mean,
boy, amateur coming up, boxing. I mean, man, he was great in the ring.
Man. Hey, man, you got. Let me tell you something. Yeah. And I think most guys will relate to this. You can come to my house right now. I'm looking down in the basement. All those damn posters, I'd make Cat take all that shit down. Oscar De La Hoya, how good looking he was, all the Mexican girls loved him. Man, I took all that stuff and put it down in the basement. I ain't got no more to do with that.
I don't take his skills out of the way. He was one of the best boxers in the ring.
He was.
To ever. But when he turned promoter, man.
Oh, man. Well, remember his claim to fame then was that I'm going to clean up everything that Bob Arum and Don King did.
Fell right into the same.
That's right.
Same groove.
And maybe even worse.
And worse. But anyway, okay, that does it for this episode. Okay. Stay with us because we're going to come back with the good, okay?
And there's a lot of good for 2016.
We done fed you some ugly and we fed you some bad. So now we're going to come back with some good things that happened in boxing over the year, okay?
That good is like a nice piece of chocolate cake, you know? I mean, it's going to taste so good.
I'm glad you said chocolate cake because when you said a good piece of chocolate cake.
Hey, it's a family show. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. All right, hey. Get a piece of chocolate cake, a glass of cold milk. We'll be right back and we'll talk about the good of 2016.
All right, baby.
In the meantime, though,
till we come back,
keep them hands up,
keep
baby.
Keep them hands up.